Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert. So since last episode, I have done a little bit of mining just to get us some more uranium and get some more resources, because I wanted to go ahead and push our recyclers up to 7 overclockers. We can still go higher, and we will. 7 is kind of a nice spot though, because it's going to run the matter generator most of the time. It's going to be running off scrap boxes. You can see I get about 5% before another scrap box comes in. One more overclocker and we should be running 100% uptime, I think, on scrap boxes, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It may take 2 more, but I'm going to stop at 7 for right now because realistically it's decent UU matter generation, and you can see if I upgraded to another overclocker, I would probably start draining cobblestone and would need to upgrade these. That's a lot of lead. I don't really want to spend that right now. So I'm going to stop at 7 on each of these, and it's kind of a nice sweet spot for us at the moment. This reactor has done a changeover without issue. Everything went over great, so everything's running good. I'm happy. Before too long, we'll probably set up another one, but not just yet. I don't want to do that until I have automatic uranium, really, like easy uranium. But we do have 32 advanced machines in here. I went ahead and crafted those up, as well as a bunch of plutonium. That's where most of my UU matter went, because I went ahead and pushed us up to a second RT generator. I'm only running 3 RTG pellets in each of these, because if I run more, it's not really pulling out the power fast enough. I think if we did mechanism cables, it would be able to pull it out, but just using our IC2 cables, they're not pulling out the power, or the generator's not outputting the power as fast as what we're generating with the RTG pellets. I'm going to leave it at 3 for now, and then down the road we'll probably upgrade. So these 2, of course, are feeding the matter generator with power. And then I have 2 over here these are pretty much staying filled. It's probably overkill to have 2 over here, but I'm keeping 2 over here. And this plugs into our main power system. And, of course, it'll help out with the recyclers. Their power consumption is not too much, but it is a little bit. So anyways, we're not going to be doing IC2 today. We're going to be switching gears. I'm pretty happy with where we're at with IC2. We've got a good setup going, and it's just going to be passively running, making us lots and lots of power, lots and lots of UU matter, and our power troubles are going to be gone. They're pretty much gone. But I still need to get this power plugged up to the farm. But we are lucky because, let me just pop over to the storage building. And I know this is kind of a mess right now. I've still got to sort this out. But we do have draconic evolution IO crystals. I believe that came from a quest a bit back. So we are going to be using those. But before we can do that, we're going to have to get ourselves a wrench. It's not a big deal to make it, but it is a little bit, or it's not a wrench, but whatever it's called. Let me just pull up draconic. The crystal binder. We've got to make one of these. Cobalt ingot, 2 diamonds, blaze rod, not bad, but the laser wrench, we are going to have to do just a little bit of actually additions. Technically, I think we could actually skip the actually additions, now that I think about it, because I think we actually have Inori crystals. No, we don't. We have empowered Inori, but we don't have regular Inori. So, I've got to get all this sorted. I actually turned off the where I was hiding labels, and I was about to start sorting. A couple things I did do is I went ahead and I've started getting some stuff set up. We're going to be building, doing a bit of a building push. I want to get the second floor of this building done, and I want to start continue working on the exterior, because it needs a lot of work on the exterior. But this bottom floor is done, I think. I still got to do lighting at the entrance, but the bottom floor itself is pretty nice, I think. Not a bad room. Not a bad room for our IC2 floor. And I did put an elevator in there just to make it easier to pop up. Right over here we do have an elite energy cube that I've got plugged up to our IC2 setup. So we're just converting all that power into mechanism. Instead of messing around with any other power source, we have a really strong IC2 power system, and we're going to push forward with that. Just until we get to reactors, and then we're going to be running a lot of, other reactors. We're going to be running a lot of power through those. Nuclear craft will be on next stop, and then big reactors after that. So what I want to do, we're going to go ahead and push into some actually additions. Now, I cannot recall if Have we opened up the gate for actually additions? No, we have not. Okay, so we're going to go back to gates. We're going to be pushing for flux networks before too long. Technically, they're a later game because they're down here with the Ender IO stuff, but they're actually not a hard push, truth be told. There's a lot that's accessible within this pack just by barely brushing up against these different mods. They're not like a hard gate. Like, we don't have to go through the entire mod to get down to that. So it's actually not too bad of a push. But what we're going to do, we need to make ourselves some iron casings. We're going to need hardened casings. We're going to need 10 electron cubes and iron sheet metal. I may have some hardened casings left over. I don't know. Probably not. I do. I have two hardened casings left, so we can make this push a bit easier. I'm also going to need 4 10 electron tubes and 4 iron sheet metal, which is really, really cheap. And we're going to be setting up before too long to start mass producing that liquid Enderium, because I want to get that. I really need to get that mass produced. I don't really need the Astral Shrine anymore. So I'm just going to clear that out. I'm just going to put power building in here. That way I can warp back and forth a bit faster. Alright, let's go ahead. Let me say that you are going to output out the top. Set that down. And we'll get this melting. And then I want to craft up that. Get this glass melted. It might be too much glass. Probably is, but that's fine. Go ahead and give me these electron tubes. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just break this off for right now. We're going to be setting this up in a permanent spot here shortly, because it's going to go probably on this floor, I think, because this will be our first floor that actually just has a bay of machines. So all the machines that were in our windmills, we're going to be going around and getting those and setting them up in this room before too long. Alright, now the next thing that I want to do is, well, let's go craft this up real quick. We're going to be getting the atomic reconstructor, but not just yet. And then there's that. Quest completed. And we get to choose either 2 iron casings, 2 advanced machine blocks, or 2 heavy engineering blocks. Now, since we've already got an IC2 set up, this makes the entire pack like a whole lot easier. Let me go ahead and just get that scanning. And since we've got iron casings, we'll have them available to replicate. Advanced machine blocks, we've got available to replicate. We've got 32 of them on us. I'm going to go ahead and take the heavy engineering blocks, because I believe we can scan these as well, and then we can replicate those also. So the more UU matter that you have, the better, because you can just replicate all the things. I know last time around we just had them automatically keeping like drawers filled with all of our machine blocks, so we'll be doing that again for sure. Alright, so where are you at? Actually, additions. We get a checkmark task. We're going to go ahead and claim our manual. And we have begun the actually additions quest line. Alright, now worms, we've already gotten those before. We'll go ahead and turn that in. That's kind of a minute thing. A lot of this stuff up here, kind of minor stuff. Range collector is not bad. Automatic feeder is when you have Pam's ground traps. Farmer, we're going to use that here pretty soon. That's actually something that I wanted to get. But right now I just want the atomic reconstructor. So we're going to need 4 steel plates. We're going to need 2 golden electron tubes. A red laser, inverted red laser. Okay, that's actually really easy. And yeah, and then we'll get our steel and our golden electron tubes. Yeah. Alright, let me go ahead and see what our thing has. Hearty breakfasts. And let me just grab a poppy. And we're just going to make some red dye from that. I do want to automate a lot of our Britannia stuff here soon, which we're going to be pushing for before too long. Really, the only reason we haven't pushed magic more is because we kind of needed to push tech, and now I'm just kind of rolling with that momentum because, you know, we've knocked out the IC2 quest line, and really once you have that done, the rest of the tech is actually super easy, truth be told. So, let's go ahead, do that, that, and I believe we can use the red glass for, I believe we can use the red glass for this, so I'm going to go ahead, set that out, that out, and oh, we can't use red glass. Okay. I've got to put the roof on this build, or the roof, and then the next floor for this building. So we're gonna get back over to that. I kind of started a lot of buildings and we got sidetracked off of them, but it's because we had to start a lot of things. But I think now we're actually getting to where, because we're going to be starting AE2 here soon. We've just got a lot of things coming up that are going to make our lives super, super easy by comparison. So there's that. Atomic Reconstructor, there's that. Okay. And let me go ahead and grab that. And Inori, we've already gotten that once before, so we'll go ahead and turn that quest in. But I do need more Inori crystals. And I'm going to set that up. I'm going to hit it with a redstone. We're going to say pulse, redstone mode pulse. And we'll just put that there and drop our iron down. Oh, it doesn't explode on this. Okay. That's fine. We'll just do a whole block. There we go. Block of Inori. We'll get that. And now we can switch back over. We're going to come back to this stuff here in just a minute, but I want to go ahead and get the crystal binder. Because we got our farm set up. You know, we spent all that time, but then we just didn't have the power to really run it. So I wanted to get this set up. Alright, so we're going to need a basic, that's going to be 4 aluminum wires, and we're going to need some impregnated sticks and gold cable. And then that's just carpenter with seed oil. Actually, I think I've got some impregnated sticks lying around. So, and what did we get for these quests? We got thickened, bordered thickened glass, and we got auxiliary reception coils. Not bad. I don't know if we'll really use dynamos in this pack, though. Truth be told, dynamos are fine. They're kind of boring. I'd rather just go with like nothing but reactor power, I think. Okay, now the carpenter that we set up over there was the only one that I've got, and I don't have any impregnated sticks, but that's fine. Okay, so there's our carpenter. Let's go ahead and pop inside. How are we doing on 40, almost 48 stacks, which considering we're having power issues, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We haven't set up all the farms either, so there's that too. Let's set this up. Let me pull these facades off real quick. And let me pull this off. I'm going to put a connector in right there. And if we had our squeezer setting, say, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and replace that facade in. We had our squeezer setting right there. And then what I could do is, we're going to say that this is seed squeezer. Is this one. So let's find it on here, right there. And we are going to say, this is the, that's not the power line. What's the power line? It'd be down here. Yeah, it's this bottom one here. Okay, so we're going to say that you can insert on this line. So the squeezer should, well, I actually don't have any power in this, so I wouldn't, we're going to fix that in just a moment. We're almost there. I tell you what, let me pull this up for right now, because I'm not going to be able to start it in this area right now. This is my problem. Anytime power gets made, like we're making power, it's just getting consumed so fast. Yeah, right here. Okay, let me grab like 2 stacks of these. And we'll get this running. I'd like to, since we're going to be setting this up for automation, we're going to touch up on a little bit of forestry today. By the way, what forestry quests do we have left? Actually, quite a bit. So, it's a lot of miscellaneous things, but we might push on to it before too long. But I want to make a soldering iron. That's bronze and 3 iron for that. And there we go. There's that. And then I want to make a circuit board to speed up the squeezer. So if we pull up forestry, we're looking for like socketed machines, decrease power use by 10%. But I want the socketed machine, speed boost 2, speed by 25%, power use by 10%. I think that's going to be about the best one that we can get. I don't think there's a speed boost 3. No. I think there used to be an add-on for Forestry that gave a speed boost, like higher speed boost, but I could be wrong. But for this, we are going to need 4 blaze powder and 2 redstone. I'm going to go ahead and make a few of these also. Okay, I'm gonna have to pop into the nether really quick and go kill some blazes. Oh, there's a compressed blaze. I'll just take this one on. Not like anything can kill us at the moment. Yeah! I was forged by dragons. Alright. We got 19 blaze rods. That's not bad. I don't really care to hold on to those. I do want to go kill this ghast, though, because we might get a ghast here. And it's flying up in a nice, really good spot. There we go. And there's 2 more ghast tiers. Okay, so let's go ahead. Pop back home. We'll run the rest of those seeds in just a moment, but I want to show you the speed difference. Alright, that's going to start up, and then I'm going to need a circuit board. And for the quest, they wanted us to just get basic circuit boards, is what they're asking for. Then 10 on, yeah, let's go ahead and do that, just to get it out of the way, but we're not going to go with basic circuit boards. We're going to go with intricates. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not going to go with intricate. I guess we're going to go with refined. So I'm going to need some iron. But for the basic one, it is just redstone and tin. Get that. And this should be done. There we go. I got too much redstone somehow. Go ahead and pull that back up. I don't think we're really going to be using it too much more today. I don't think. So there's our basic circuit board. And then let me go ahead and just change this over to the iron one. And we'll get that running. That should complete a quest. There we go. So we're going to get a loot chest, and then 10 electron tubes, we're going to get a loot chest, and blazing electron tubes, we're going to get a loot chest. Alright, so we got purple blocks, wind generator. Oh, we got 2 wind generators. Okay, my bad. And then we got observers. Alright, there was our refined circuit board. Let's go ahead and grab our soldering iron, right click it, and we're going to say, we're going to switch over to machine upgrade, put our circuit board in there, and we're going to put in electron tubes in those 3 slots, and we get our refined circuit board with speed boost 2, speed boost 2, and speed boost 2. So our power usage is going to go up by 30%, but our speed is going to go up by 75%. So that is not bad. And it goes right up here in this slot. So we're just going to put it in there. And now, just for, let me grab that out. Just for example, if we put a seed in, it runs at that speed. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. But with this now, if we put seeds in, yeah, sure, they're a little bit faster, I suppose. Yeah, it's noticeable like that. It's noticeable. So we'll just put that back in. Let that run. Oh, you can't put that, that's fine. There is one thing that we could make to get that out really easy. I tend to like having these around. That is the pippets. So let me go ahead and get that also. I've got some stained glass here. Okay, let me go ahead and set up a crafting table up here also. So there is our pipet. And what we can do is just take that and then we can dump it all into there. And then what I want to do, let's go ahead, remove this recipe, and I'm going to say make impregnated sticks, dump all that in there, and let that start running. So it's going to start making our impregnated sticks for us, and at this point, we can turn our attention back. And this isn't just for the wrench. We're going to need all this stuff anyways, for some stuff that we're going to be, what we're going to be moving into next. We're going to start pushing some tech, I think. We're going to push tech for a little bit, and then we're going to switch back over to magic. And we are going to be automating liquid enderium here soon, molten enderium. Yeah, at this point I just need 4 aluminum wire and 4 gold cables. and then I need to grab 2 diamonds. That. There we go. Okay, so at this point what I want to do, I want to go ahead and just pull up our squeezer. And let me grab a basic IO crystal. You can combine those together to get the relays, that's good. What we're going to do is, we'll put it in right there. Yeah, their range, this isn't going to work out. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it because, man, the range on these is, well, actually, I think if we had better ones, they have a longer range. But to make the better ones, I mean, there's no way that we're going to be able to pull that off right now. Oh, I did want to point out, connectors can be scanned and replicated now. I don't remember them being able to be scanned and replicated before. So, but we do have the Actual Editions machine frames and the heavy engineering blocks scanned and replicatable now. So, and they're not much. They're like 16 millibuckets. So, but I'm going to leave this plugged up because even though it didn't work out for what I intended it for, I can still use it in this room, you know? It's not a bad thing. It was worth the push, I think, just to use these, so we're getting some use out of them, because they're really good items to have for wireless transfer. Okay, you don't want to craft connectors with UU matter. They take like 8.5 buckets of UU matter. So, there's going to be some things like that that are just like way too expensive, and there's no way that you're ever going to want to actually make that with UU matter. But what we're going to do now, let's go ahead and pull up industrial foregoing. That's going to be the next step that we have to make. Really, we only have to hit up like technically like 3 mods to get up to Flux Networks, and they're all fairly quick overall. One of the mods we got to hit up we've already been doing. I need this. Well, it's just that. So let me just there we go. There's our machine case. We're gonna get a quest complete. And we get an infinite water source, latex processing unit, and a machine case from that. And that's going to unlock our gate here for industrial foregoing, so we now have all the tier 2 gates unlocked. But just because of the size of our base, I think pushing this, just really, really strong pushing this, is going to be very important for us, because my base is just too, it's just too big. I'm not going to run conduits all the way over there. I wouldn't mind making the conduits to do it, but the fact is, that's a good way to lag out your worlds, just running a bunch of conduits. They're not very world friendly usually. So we need to get a tree fluid extractor. Wow, this is cheap. This is super cheap. Okay. Get this book out of here. It's going to mess me up because it looks just like my Ender Away book. Right, so there's our furnace. There's our tree fluid extractor. And they gave us the latex processing unit from the quest. So that's basically another free quest completed. So we're going to get a loot chest, and we're going to get a loot chest. And we have to start making rubber. This is one of only 2 things that we really need from this. There's our wonton soup, and there's some sponges. And which trees are the ones that give a lot? Rubber wood gives 4 millibuckets. Acacia gives 3. Now we actually don't need a lot of this, because the thing is, everything that requires rubber is interchangeable, or everything that requires plastic is interchangeable with our IC2 rubber. So we really don't need this, but we do need it for one thing, and that's it. So I'm going to set up our latex processing unit there, put our tree fluid extractor setting here, and we're going to go ahead and just take a piece of rubber wood and just drop this down in front of it. We'll set up something later just to have it like a little bit more of a permanent setup, but it's going to start eating that rubber wood. And let me grab a fluid conduit. And we're going to go ahead and just run this back. We're going to say that you can extract always active, and you can insert. So it's going to start getting that latex. I'm going to have to give it some water, so I'm just going to use the infinite water source they gave us from the quest to supply this with water. And then to give it power, what we're going to do, well, really, I could just use an IO crystal right now. Yeah, because we're not going to keep this set up for very long, I don't think. We will automate it probably later just to have it. It's one of those things I'll just have just to have. But truth be told, I'm going to bind that. Oh, whoops, right click to bind it over. And we're going to right click or shift right click this with an empty hand to set it to output. That way it starts running that and making us that tiny dry rubber. So how much uses do we really have for this? Making dry rubber, which we use to make machine frames, which we're going to scan and then replicate. And that's it. That's actually it. Wow. Okay, so we may not even need this, because if you notice, everything that requires plastic can also be made with rubber. Well, no, it says there's 35 tabs, so maybe not. Like making the animal sewer. Okay, we are going to need plastic then. Okay, so we will need to automate this, but that's fine. What I need right now, I don't need that much of it though. 27. We'll go ahead and just do that. There's our dry rubber. And what we're going to do, let's see. Oh, and they want us to make a piece of plastic. Okay, that's fine. I've got 3 and I only need 2 for what I want this for right this second. Let's go ahead and just drop one of these into the electric furnace. There we go. There's our first sheet of plastic. Quest completed, and we're going to get a loot box from that. And we get barbecue pulled pork. Okay, now what I want to make, the other thing that we're going to need from industrial foregoing is we just have to get the mob slaughter factory and get pink slime. That's it. That's all we need from industrial foregoing, because it's really a lot of the same things. There's a few machines that we're going to use here. Black hole storage is kind of nice. And we'll probably do some laser mining. Material stonework factory is pretty good. Mob imprisonment tools are useful. Fluid crafter has some pretty good uses. Wither builder is pretty useful. But a lot of the rest of this stuff we can do through other methods, like Botania. Can handle like all that animal stuff pretty well. You can see this is starting to break. It's going to take a while. Easy to automate with a mechanical user, and we will. And you can actually have 4 of these on, well, technically you could have 6 of these on one log at a time, all drawing from that same log. So it is going to break it a little bit faster, but we can do that. And we will eventually, we'll have 4 of them set up and automate it. But for right now, just having this manually set up. Because I want to push for that AE2 and that power, so then we can start automating all the things, basically, at that point. So we've got that. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and push for the rftools machine frame. So what we need to do now is get a mob slaughter factory. We're going to need 2 plastic, machine case, sword and stuff. Yeah, this isn't too bad. There is that, and there's our mob slaughter factory. Alright, so what we need to do, this is going to require some power. For right now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to run this for very long. Because really all it's for is we need to, wait, I want it to face this way. All it's going to be for is we need to get up to where we have pink slimes. And what we're going to do is we're just going to, once we get pink slimes, we're going to capture them and spawn them. Probably not our first pink slimes, just because I don't really have a power spawning or a spawning system in place just yet. We will push for that before too long, but not until we get power set up and everything. So I'm just going to run some power over to this, and then we're going to go ahead and say that you can output that power. So this is ready to go. And what does it take to make mob imprisonment tools? They're cheap, and we can make them with rubber, 4 ender pearls, and a gas tier, which it just so happens we got gas tiers earlier. So quest complete, mob imprisonment tool. Okay, and we got a loot chest from that. And from this loot chest, we got an onion hamburger. And now what we can do, if you have a spawning system in place, that's great. It'll work really well for this. But what we need to do is we need to capture things and feed them to our machine. So pigs, yep, sounds good. Pop over to the power building, and we just drop them. We just drop them right here in front of this. There we go. And there we go. And you can see that we have 160 millibuckets of pink slime right now. It's actually really quick with a teleport book. Like, surprisingly quick. And you can use things like squid. They work as well. Also hostiles will work. Anything like that. But I will say, I always find that you get the best output for pink slime by getting like cows and things like that, like fatty animals seem to have the most pink slime. So if you have a pig farm, great source of pink slime. But this kind of works out because I was wanting all these passive creatures out of the base, truth be told. Alright, so there's our bucket of pink slime. We're going to go ahead and knock this out today because it is so easy. Let's go ahead. It's a right click to get that out, so just put that there. I'm going to have to spawn another one of these, so might as well. But there's a chance we won't have to spawn another one for our machine frame because we have looting. So we just put that down. We give it just a moment. Now if you have a spawning system, go ahead and capture this so that you can spawn these. But we're just going to kill it. I only got one. Okay. Let me... oh, we did get a quest complete. Though I don't think our loot box is going to give us pink slime, so... paper walls. Okay. Yeah, honestly, with this system of just like teleporting back, this is super fast to get another bucket. So, go ahead and do that. Now we can get our last pink slime ball. I am going to spawn one more of these between episodes just so I can get one to get inside of like a container, like a mob imprisonment tool, so that we've got it once we get a spawning system in place. So that way we can just mass spawn these things. Okay, this slime has taken... I've tried it in so many different spots. It's taking forever to get this slime to spawn, but I'm getting the rest of the stuff together that we need for this while I wait. It may not spawn here because it's not on a solid block, but I just set it there for a minute. Because I stood around for like quite a few minutes waiting for this thing to spawn and it wouldn't. There we go. Okay, that time we got... Whoa, we got 4 from that one. Alright, go figure. I wish it was the other way around. Then I wouldn't have had to spawn a second one. Okay, so all I need now at this point is a range add-on. And it'll accept any form of range add-on. So we're just going to go with the bottom bracket. That's cobblestone, 2 sheets of plastic, and some kind of stained glass. So we're going to be using red stained glass for that. Alright, so there's our range add-on. And now we can make our machine frame. rftools. Oh wait. Oh yeah, I've got to replicate one of these. There we go. And then there is those. Ah. Okay, so for getting a range add-on, we do get a loot chest from that. And then over in gates, we get a power cell. That's another. Actually, probably. I imagine that we could do that. We either get a power cell, a basic energy cell, or advanced energy cube. What does it take to make power cells? Because, I mean, we could go with those over Flux Networks, but Flux Networks is better in a lot of ways. These take... I mean, they're going to take machine frames each, which we can make them. But honestly, going for Flux Networks is going to be a whole lot cheaper. Because honestly, I don't think there's much out of Flux Networks. Like, what's it take to make the Flux Storage, Flux Blocks? Herculean, yeah, this is all default recipe. Every bit of this. The only thing is the Flux Core. To make a Flux Core, you're going to have a Flux Core. This is like the only changed recipe. Once you get a Flux Core, it's no different. But your initial one, you're going to have to sag mill dimensional transceiver. That's the only reason that this takes a little bit to get started into. It's really not that bad, but we are going to have to do that. So yeah, we'll just push on. There's not much point in going with power cells realistically. So for the quest reward, I'm going to take basic energy cell, I think. Yeah, we'll go with the basic energy cell, I do believe. Okay, so there's that, and then we'll go ahead and get this scanning our machine frame. Alright, so with that, I am going to end out this episode here because I know it's wrapping up point. But next episode, now that we've got that, We do need one thing from rftools to pull this off, and that is the for the quantum entanglement porter, we need the matter beamer. Once we get the matter beamer, oh, we are going to have to do this too. This really isn't that bad, but we are going to have to start applying energistics, and we're going to have to get basically the empower up and going, which is fine. All this is really easy. We're just going to have to push a little bit of mechanism, but we have to push mechanism for something else anyways. So we've got a couple episodes of getting this together, because we're pretty much having to push towards the late game stuff, but it's all extremely cheap, and it's machines that we really need to get in place anyways, so it's not really necessarily a bad thing that we go ahead and push this. I mean, like I said, we could stop here and do power cells, but we're honestly not far from Flux Networks, so we might as well just push that. Plus, Flux Networks, I haven't done as much as power cells. I do use Flux Networks from time to time, but I use power cells a lot in other series, so we'll just go ahead and push for that, I think. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. Stay updated with when new videos come out. Next episode, of course, we'll keep pushing that, but it won't take us too long. I mean, it'll take next episode for sure, but it won't take us too long to get up to Flux Networks, and then we're going to start pushing AE2, automation, and get our farms up and going, and just a lot of stuff, mob spawners and things like that. It's going to open up that for us, because we've kind of struggled with power the whole time, mainly because our base is too big for its own good, and so it's hard for me to get power from one place to another easily, you know. So we're about to fix that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.